In this video, I'm going to go over how the SceneForge Studio project file structure works and how it's going to impact your workflow with the editor. When you create a SceneForge project, it's going to automatically create the folder structure for you in the folder you selected when created that project. To actually view this structure, you can click this button at the top left of the screen, and that'll open it up in Windows Explorer. Now, the most important thing here is the SF-doc file. This is the actual file that holds all of your project information. Now, it'll include a bunch of other folders that get generated dynamically based on your use of the app. The first thing is 3D models, and this is where you should put all 3D models that you're going to import to keep it all in one place. Next, you have terrains, and this holds the actual terrain file for each scene that you have in your project. We have textures, which is where you import any of your textures to for materials. And most importantly here, we have image output. And this is where all snapshots get stored. So when you take a snapshot in shoot mode, the image of the camera's view gets stored here in this folder, as well as a view of the floor plan at that moment. And these both get used if you want to export the image by just copying it to another location, or, most importantly, it gets used in the storyboard editor down the road. So you can see here with every snapshot I take, it gets imported from your folder to be visible here, as well as on your timeline. Now, it's very important you don't delete any of these files within here, because then the project won't know where to find those files and give you an error when loading them up. Because everything is self-contained, you can move the folder around, and it'll automatically keep all references to files, assuming they're staying inside this folder. So while it's not necessary, I do highly recommend keeping all of your assets that you're using within the project folder. You'll notice there also is a colorgrade.sfcc file. That is an optional file that gets generated when you use the color grading menu and click Save to File. I'll talk about this more in a future video about scene visuals. And so that is the very brief overview of the way the project file structure works. Keep that in mind as you go through these tutorials and use the editor yourself.